Shout out to Art New Style for sending me this story. And I was close to making this a Strag Tale story until I read a little bit into this story that made me scale back just a little bit and said maybe I can't put this in the category of that, even though the whole story itself is just absolutely devastating. So in this picture, you see a woman by the name of Brittany Tucker, and a couple days ago, she fatally shot and killed her neighbor and then went home and killed all four of her kids and then put the gun to her head and shot and killed herself. Now, if the story just played out like that, I would say, oh, instant Strag Tales right there. Until I was reading more into the article, and it was saying at the end that police believe that Brittany Tucker was suffering from mental health issues. Now, that's something that they do not like to place on the black people often or at all, even when we actually are suffering from a mental health issue. So that made me pull back a little bit. I said, if they say that she most likely had a mental health issue, there's probably a possibility that she did. Because they said that she also purchased the gun that she used in the shooting legally. So she was like, so apparently she was able, a registered gun owner, had a license to carry, or a license to own at least. And they said that she was seen at her apartment complex walking around waving the gun around. I'm like this, if people saw her waving the gun around and this woman has had mental health issues, you should have probably contacted the authorities at that point right there, because that could have easily been avoided. And like I said before in the past, mental health issues in the black community is something that many of us don't talk about, or it's considered to be taboo, that black people don't need therapy. No, we need all the therapy. We need all the therapy in the world. Probably more so than any other group, considering the psychological damaging that we have been going through. But it's really unfortunate that this happened. 6 people lost their lives. She killed herself, she killed her neighbor, and she killed all 4 of her kids. And I believe they said her kids' age range, with the oldest being 12 and the youngest was 5 months. So there was really no survivors. And the thing is, it didn't specify if it was or if it wasn't, but I want to say she possibly maybe was a single mother, because it doesn't specify that there was a man there. She literally killed everyone, including herself, in that home and in near proximity to her, which was the neighbor. And another thing that possibly says that she might have had a mental health issue was when they said she killed the neighbor, and someone has said that, let me read what the quote says. Because the neighbor's name was Antisha Logwood and she was 20 years old. She said she asked her, "What are you laughing at?" and then just shot her. So who knows if she actually was laughing, or maybe in her head she saw her laughing. And then she probably, when she went home and killed all for her kids, she probably was in one of those stages where she didn't know what she was doing or what was going on. And then she probably snapped back into reality and realized that she had killed someone. She killed her neighbor, and then realized she killed her kids, and was like, okay, there's no coming back from this. I'm going to go ahead and kill myself. If she really does had a mental health issue, I bet you that's probably how it played out. It doesn't specify what she had, but if I had to guess, maybe she had a split personality, or maybe she could have been a schizophrenic. I'm not sure, because walking around just waving a gun around just because, that's not, in my opinion, not normal behavior. But I offer my condolences to all that were lost in this entire situation. And hopefully, they can figure something out. But like I said, the dead don't talk. No one survived this. So there are no witnesses.